Hello everyone, welcome to a World of Warship Blitz video. Today's video is the #1 video for unique plays in World of Warships. So these are the ships that are unique and have no equal and are, well, this one is a real blast to play. For those of you that have watched the channel for any period of time, this should come as no surprise. This is the Tier 8 premium French destroyer Le Terrible, which you can see here is doing a total speed record of, well, wait for it, 49 knots, 49.4. Let's put on the rapid. Let's hit that. Let's hit that speed boost and see how we do, because this thing is capable of 54.7 knots, or with a special camo that came on 56.7, I think 56.3 or something like that. This ship is phenomenal. Actually, for the exercise for this video, I actually compared it with the Khabarovsk, and because I have the Tashkent, I don't have the Khabarovsk, I have the Tashkent, and the Tashkent basically plays as the Russian destroyers are probably the closest thing you get to Le Terrible, but the Russian destroyers have nothing on this boat. To be fair, even the Khabarovsk has worse stats. So it has more hit points. This has only 19,000. The Khabarovsk has 21,000 and has slightly better damage reduction. It's 6% rather than 3%. But for speed, this goes 45.34 knots when spec for speed. The Khabarovsk travels a mere 42.6 knots. Same acceleration. The traverse speed is the same. So, in fact, the Khabarovsk has slightly better traverse speed than the Terrible, but the traverse speed in the Terrible is not an issue. And the reason that it's not an issue is something that the poor Khabarovsk doesn't have, and that is it has phenomenal main gun battery range. So when you are traveling, tooling along base at 45 knots, and you have 11-kilometer main battery range, the poor Khabarovsk has 9.65 rather than 10.95, so basically almost 1.5 kilometers short. Yeah, there's not a lot that can hit you, and this is a great ship for tanking damage for the team. Not because it can absorb a lot of damage, because no one ever puts enough lead on to catch the thing. and that's the way this thing plays. Now, those torpedoes that I'm firing them like they're just chucking away lollies, and that's because these things reload so fast. So the reload on the torpedoes is 40 seconds, something like the Khabarovsk 51 seconds, and these torpedoes at a 40-second reload have an 8.5 kilometer range. Now, they're pretty slow traveling at 62 knots. Whatever, just chuck them out like chips, because chances are by the time you need them again, they're reloaded. So they're not torpedoes you ever regret firing. You just take the chance, and maybe someone will run into them, or maybe it'll force them into a bad angle. Now, one of the things to be aware of with this ship is that you have very limited means to protect yourself from, if you get into trouble, right? And the other thing is, when you spec it out for speed, if you ever get this ship, and I recommend you consider it, I love it. If you ever get this ship and you spec it out for speed, you will find one thing about the maps, and that is the maps have an absolute ton of islands. Really, they do have a ton of islands. And just in case I hadn't sold you on the ship enough, because it is a unique play, the other thing this gets that the Khabarovsk doesn't get, well, the Khabarovsk gets rapid reload. It gets rapid reload 1, which increases reload speed by 15% for 20 seconds. This gets rapid reload 3, which increases your reload speed by 50% for 20 seconds, which means those 5.5 second 11 kilometer hard hitting large guns that the Terrible has, 139 millimeter, which is huge for destroyer guns, doing around about 500 damage with a 5% fire chance. So instead of firing every 5.5 seconds, they fire at 50% faster, which is, to be fair, I'm not going to do the maths on it. But let me put it this way. The captain is spec'd to get all the things pushed into rapid reload and all the things to be pushed into speed boost. So the speed boost lasts longer, the rapid reload lasts longer. We get 3 rapid reloads instead of 2. It is, so basically every 3 times a game for about 25 seconds or so, this thing just turns into a little Akazuki. And a long range Akazuki. You absolutely murder things. And here you go. Okay, the torpedo angles are a bit funny, but who cares? Because the torpedoes, 40 seconds, they're back and you're in business again. So this thing is a unique play. It has so much going for it. It is a real challenge the first time you play it. You will find every island and every map just by feeling them out. Don't worry, you'll find them the hard way. But yeah, you've got to learn to fight at range. I mean, it's very much like the closest equivalent to this is the Tier 7 Italian premium cruiser, the Duca degli Abruzzi, which basically you just run around at maximum speed and fire HE at maximum range and fire off torpedoes whenever you get a little bit bored. And as you can see, there's the rapid reload. Oh no, the rapid reloads are all burned up, but as you can see, absolutely lovely. Long range fire, taking some shots from behind. We'll open up the distance and he won't be able to hit us again. Yeah, it's an absolutely fun as anything ship. There you go, a whole lot of splashes behind the ship. Not used to something travelling at that speed. And look, we'll stop on a dime right behind this rock. Or not. There we go. Get some shots off. He's absolutely not giving us the right sort of lead. Now, the best way to evade torpedoes in this thing is just to hit the speed boost. Or, better yet, you just stop steering. And if you stop steering backwards and forwards, you'll quickly climb up to your maximum speed and away you go. As you can see, he's getting a few hits in, but he's really struggling with it. Hopefully I'll get some of those on. And yeah, so just have an absolute blast. You can see how much distance this thing covers in a game. And yeah, you do learn to watch for islands because, yeah, take it from me, it's not particularly pleasant if you tooling along at maximum speed and all of a sudden become a sitting target. I think that might be our number. No, absolutely insufficient lead on it. Let's give him some shots, see if we can finish him off just in the final seconds of the game. Nah, someone else took him. There you go, but an absolutely unique play. It's probably the most fun that you can have. There can be extremely short games as well. It is very high risk, very high reward if you overextend, which you will with that speed, and you end up in a position where you're surrounded by bad guys. Games can be incredibly short, but they are fun. Number one, unique play, Le Terrible.